Thank you. So we offered 2 sessions, one today, one that was on Tuesday this week. The content presented is the same. And like I mentioned, recording for this meeting and the one from Tuesday will be available for everyone to receive an invitation. And that will be sent later this week. The objective for this meeting is to walk you through the portal functionality, business support leading up to and post go live. We're going to go through all the slides and open up the meeting for live QA at the end of the presentation. So some rules of engagement. Please keep your mic muted and avoid echo and background noise. Same for the camera. Do not interrupt the speaker throughout the presentation. If you have a questions, raise your hands in Teams. We will keep track of who raised the hand, and participants will be called out to ask your question in the order that the hands were raised. We will also keep monitoring the chat. So if you cannot speak on your mic and you have a question, feel free to put it on the chat. We will be responding to those as well. Questions not answered during this session will be published in the website later this week, only if these questions have not been already published in the FAQ page already. And any specific questions about portal functionality, we can go back to the slide in the presentation pertaining to the question and respond to that. All right, so here's our agenda for today. We're going to present the safety and D&I moment. We are going to go through some of the background of PTC and what we're doing, gas suppliers, operation portal walkthrough. We're going to go through a few slides on that. Information on go live support, some key reminders, and what is some of the stuff that you should continue to keep doing. And at the end, we're going to open, like I mentioned, for QA for everyone. Okay, for the safety moment, I have a few tips on spring cleaning. This is the season that we all want to start doing cleanups outside and inside our home. So just be careful. Remember that prevention is the key to avoid injury. And here are some of those tips that I'm going to leave on this deck for today. So refer to those if you need to. For the DE&I moment, there's a quote here, and it says, we should indeed keep calm in the face of difference and live our lives in the state of inclusion and wonder at the diversity of humanity. And remember that difference is neutral and is the attitude that we have to differences that can make it, an issue. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Mary Lou. She's going to talk to you about the background of this tariff.
Thanks, Maria. Hey, everybody. I'm Mary Lou Grisenia. I'm from Regulatory Affairs here at Nicor Gas. I've been asked just to provide a quick overview or background, some history of sort of how these changes came about. Now, I realize it may be old news for some of you who have been involved with this since the beginning, but there are likely some new folks who might benefit from a little background, I guess. Just going to hit the highlights here, just one slide, and then we're going to move on to the items that you're probably most interested in, which is really sort of our implementation and go live activities. So the first bullet here on this slide references 2020, but this whole program actually started with a regulatory proceeding back in 2017. So about 5 years ago, when Nicor Gas filed for approval of a general rate increase, it was in that final order of that case that the Illinois Commerce Commission directed us to provide a study that really looked at the implications of how transportation customers and suppliers utilize the company's on-system storage assets under the current tariffs. So we were ordered to include that study in the company's next rate case filing. So we filed for a rate case again in 2018. So we did include a study then in that rate case filing. So that storage study concluded that our daily storage activity and the storage cycling from the transportation customers and suppliers really wasn't in line with the physical operational requirements of our storage builds themselves. Now, the study concluded that the issues should be further analyzed and that tariff changes to alleviate the issues should be developed. So then at the end of that rate case, we were ordered to file tariff changes by June of 2020. So now the objective is listed here on the slide. You can see that the primary goal was really to place all storage users under similar, fair, and equitable rules that really allow our storage fields to operate safely in a manner required by aquifer fields to maintain our peak day deliverability. Our emphasis was really on preserving the operational integrity of the fields for the long term, and then aligning rules governing their use among all users. So this order at the commission was the result of an 11-month proceeding where any interested party had an opportunity to participate. In May of 2021, the commission issued an order approving some of the changes. Now, if you're interested in looking at all of the testimony or the storage study itself, that can be found on the commission website. The address is listed there. It's icc.illinois.gov. You can search by docket number, which is also listed there. You just type in 20-0606, and then you'll have a link to all of the documentation. Now, I think everybody here knows that the changes are going to go into effect May 1st of this year, which is why everybody's here to learn more today. As a reminder, then the tariffs can be found on the company's website, nicorgas.com, under tariff book. So that's all that I have. With that, I'm going to turn it over to John Sanchez, and he's going to provide a walkthrough of the new portal. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm John Sanchez, Senior Strategic Billing Analyst. Today we're going to cover with the portal how to log in, the 3 types of reports that are available to view, and the export options that are available. On the first screen that you'd be presented with when you log into the portal is the login screen, where you'll enter your user ID and password seen on the screen. For those that are affiliated with more than one company, you can use a single email address to register, but you will have a unique ID to log into each company that you represent to view the requirements that for the accounts or groups you're delivering to. This is the welcome screen. So after you're able to successfully log in, you'll land on that screen, and there's 3 then report options. We have the group level, member level, and transfer detail report. And this is the parameter screen where you'll be able to enter for the group level report. One item to note is with the 3 types of reports, the web address or URL line will end in a 1, 2, or 3, depending on which one you've selected going from left to right. So then what you'll select is you can view the default options are all for either group transport ID or account number. You can select from the drop-down menu individual accounts or groups or view all. You can also enter in a selected date range. And once you've entered those parameters, you would select view report. The date does go in the format of month, day, and year. Once you arrive on the report, you'll have daily storage rights, which are your injection or withdrawal parameters. They will be available the day prior, that day at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. MDCQ, SBS capacity, usage, transfers in and out, injection, withdrawal, cash out in tiers 1 through 3. Will also be present. The daily information will be made available at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time the day after the gas day for the reallocation window. The next slide, because the reports, do have quite a few columns. We've just scrolled over further to the right-hand side, where you will be able to obtain your storage balance, your percentage of capacity, as well as month-end cash out. Month-end cash out is available the second of each month at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. The next slide that we move into is displaying month-end gas day expanded. So this will, if you see a plus sign next to the day, you can click on that. It'll expand, show the members that are in there, their usage, their SBS capacity, their NDCQ, and how they've impacted the cash out for that day. And the next slide is to continue to show the data that's further off to the right as well. The next report is a member level report. Again, in the URL or web address field, you'll now see that it ends in 2 to signify that you are on the second option in there. You'll be presented with the same fields to enter your parameters. The member level report is only for gas transportation. It does not include customer select. Once you enter your dates, select an individual account or group. Really, it'd be for groups. You'll receive the results at the member level that will provide the name, account number, NDCQ, SBS capacity, and usage. And we have a few slides just to show multiple days as well. This is moving on to the transfer detail report, where the web address now ends in 3 for the third option. Within the group level report, if you did see a transfer, you can come here to get further details from it. We do have a slide to go back and highlight where you can see that in the member level report here in a moment. But you'd enter your parameters of what you'd like to search for. You'd view the report, and then you'll receive the results. If there's multiple transfers on that day, or in this case, there was one transfer, it'll tell you the parties involved, how much gas was transferred, and the reason why. So you have the date, terms, reason, and accounts involved. So we move to the next slide. This is just migrating back to the group level report to step in. And on the next slide, there is a spot where there's transfer detail. So one more slide, please. And this is then, it appears on the left right now. And the 6th column that you're seeing, where you'll see the transfer in for 819 therms. From there, at any one of the reports, you do have the export option, where available formats are Excel, PDFs, comma separated values, CSV, PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, as well as XML. If you select one of those options, you'll be able to download the items. Next slide is to highlight the file menu to let you know from that menu there is a print or a disable preview option. Going to the view spot, there's 2 options there, print layout and web layout. Web layout is the default option that you've been viewing with the slides. The next slide will show the print preview. that we're seeing here and how that displays on the screen. So user IDs will be valid for 6 months. They will have to be extended every 6 months. Or if somebody leaves, you're able to disable them. It is a customer managed feature afterwards by the administrators to extend those passwords or access. So we've touched on the daily information that you will see in the portal, such as the member count, storage activity, daily storage rights, cash out terms, transfers, and storage balances. As we approach May 1st, on April 30th at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, the daily storage rights for May 1st will be available. And then the schedule proceeds as seen below. On May 2nd, after the conclusion of May 1st, the daily information will be available at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for the reallocation window. May's month-end data will be available on the 2nd of June at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time and continue on the 2nd of each month from there. Just to point out, the portal is only a view option only, so it's not interactive where you manage your nominations through there. So at this point in time, we'll pass it on to Ferry and Darren.
Good afternoon. My name is Siri Warren. I am the manager of strategic billing for gas transportation and customer select. I'll walk through what the post-go live support will be for gas transportation. Portal-related questions will be addressed by the Gas Transportation Call Center. Our contact number is 630-983-4040, option 1. Our email is g2support@southernco.com. Our hours of operation for extended support will be April 30th through May 14th, Central Standard Time. Weekends will be 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and weekends will be 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Beginning May 15th, 2023, Monday through Friday, from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Some of the examples of portal-related questions will be if you're unable to log into GSOP, extended period of time, or timeout when loading data in GSOP, and also unable to see all member accounts or usage for a particular group. I will now turn it over to Darren Lilly, who will walk through support for the nomination desk.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Darren Lilly, Senior Rates Analyst for Southern Company Gas, helping out with the nom desk situation. Nomination-related questions will be addressed by the nomination desk. Whoever's covering that will be able to address any possible questions. You can reach them through the contact phone number. This number is still the same, 630-983-4040, option 2. It does have an option to leave a voice message, which will go to the email address below of gasexch@aglresources.com, or you can just email them directly. Hours of operations starting on April 29th for the schedulers will be 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Central Time, 7 days a week. That includes weekends and holidays. Examples of nomination-related questions could be the nomination system login issues, to include your IP address issues. Timely and evening cycle nomination questions, nominations in the reallocation window, and any supply cuts, include pipeline cuts and title transfers. And now I believe we're going to hand it over to a whole group of us to go over key reminders, including myself, starting with Debbie Santolin.
So I'm gonna fill in for Debbie. This is Michelle Carbone, and as we shared during a session earlier this month, we wanted to remind everyone that we are planning to temporarily widen the daily storage parameters for the months of May through July. The month-end storage parameters will remain as they're stated in the tariff, but the daily injection and withdrawal limits will be doubled in order to help minimize exposure to daily cash outs as everyone becomes familiar with the new tariff rules that are going into effect May 1st and with the portal data and reports that John just reviewed. The table included on this slide shows the daily storage parameters for each of these months. The two columns on the left-hand side show the daily parameters as they're stated in the tariff, and the two columns on the right-hand side show what parameters will be adjusted to for the months of May through July.
All right, so this is Darren again. I will be taking over this slide. Nominations will be accepted every day, including weekends and holidays. Nominations and reallocations during weekends and holidays are optional. So if you have a nomination that you want it to roll for the whole weekend, you do not have to make any changes. That includes the reallocation period, but we will be closing every single day of the week. Support staff should be available each calendar day, including weekends and holidays, to support close of day and order process. This will be for pipeline cuts and title transfer cuts, and then making your market in balance. Everybody must be in balance by 11 a.m. Central Time. If no one is available, your gas supply is going to be reduced pro rata. We are going to make sure that everybody's in balance before the reallocation period has started. And as listed below, the reallocation time period is 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Central Time every calendar day. And Teresa will be handling the customer service key reminders. Sorry about that. Timelines will be starting April 30th. Timely cycle and evening cycle, April 30th is being a Sunday. Your noms will be due by 1 p.m. Central Time for May 1st. You have till 4 p.m. to make any adjustments to your nomination for May 1st. And then on May 2nd, the supply cuts will be handled by, should be entered by 11 a.m. Central Time. And then the reallocation window, as I stated, will be between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. on May 2nd. This is all for gas day for May 1. Okay, and now it's for Teresa. Thank you.
Karen. All right, this is Teresa Vest, Senior Customer Select Analyst. Just going to go over a few customer select and gas transportation reminders. So the customer select 5-day forecast will not be provided after May 1st of 2023. Group change fees will be waived for group changes up to and including September 1st of 2023. Group change fees will resume with group changes effective October 1st of 2023. Daily red customers are allowed to switch groups up to and including April 1st of 2023. Group change requests for daily red accounts received after April 1st will become effective June 1st of 2023. Initial setup of the GSOP users will be completed by Nicor Gas based on the user request form submitted. After that, the administration of the portal after go live will reside with the suppliers. Transportation accounts will be, oh, I'm sorry, that's, I apologize. That's transitioning to billing now.
Hey everyone, it's Maria Giri again. One of the key reminders for billing is that all transportation account customers moving from rider 25 to rate 74 will be calendar month bill. That would be from the first to the last day of each month. The bill due dates are being extended. Currently, they are set to 14 days after bill issue date. After May 1st, they would be 16 days after the bill issue date. And with that, we're moving along to what are the things that you should continue doing.
Good afternoon. This is Pat Holland, Supervisor, Gas Transportation. We've spoke about a lot of things that are going to be changing. So this slide is going to discuss some things that will be staying exactly the same as it does today. So what will be staying the same? Open access will stay the same. It will continue to function in the same way that it does today. TCI/DB files will remain the same and continue to be available through Interact. Also, the manner in which you add and delete accounts from your groups will remain the same, exact same process. Also, the way we calculate the MDCQs, the manner in which we notify you of the MDCQs, and the timeline of notifying you of the MDCQs by March 1st will remain the same. And then you still have until April 1st to select a certain number of SBS days that you would like. And then you will be sent those letters to address how many days you're able to receive. And those things will all remain the same.
So some of the things for billing that will remain the same is that all gas transportation accounts will bill to May 1st of 2023 under the current tariff rules. The current maximum group size for gas transportation groups is 200 accounts. And any questions regarding group or member billing will continue to be sent to the gas transportation call center. And with that, that is the end of our presentation. We're opening now for the QA session. If anybody have any questions, feel free to ask away.
So we did have some questions that were presented within the chat, so I'll go in the order in which they're. It's okay. So let's begin here with. Is there any way to make the portal a larger percentage of the screen share? I'm not sure.
I think that was just what we were presenting.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Next question, are you able to show us a live view of the portal instead of the screenshots? And that was actually addressed by Sue, considering that this is a demo, we're not able to start along. Next question, we walk through entering nominations. Thank you, Teresa, for addressing that within the chat as well. Last question, our broker invoices or our broker invoice due dates being extended to 14 days, or was that customer's home?
Broker invoices,
It'd be the group
Oh.
manager bills.
the group manager bills. I believe all gas transportation accounts have the extended 16 days. Everything that that is going to be mailed out have a 16-day extension. Or 16 days now instead of 14.
Hey, Josh, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, kind of a question from our Tuesday call. Interact site, from what Pat mentioned, was still going to function as is. So short flat files, they will continue as is. And I guess the question there is, will that have the same exact usage as the portal has in it for each customer? And will the timing be the same on those as the portal, where we get it before reallocations are due?
The timeline will not be the same. The portal will operate in a much quicker manner.
Okay,
So, you know, the gas day ends at 9 o'clock and that usage will be available in the portal a few hours after the gas day ends. We're waiting for the files, you know, there can be a day or two lag there. So the portal will be where you're going to want to go to get the usage
for reallocations, yeah.
in the quickest manner. And that's going to be the only place that you're going to be able to get it for reallocation. For the large overwhelming majority, the usage will tie between the files and what you see on the portal. There are some examples where the files don't necessarily pick up any sort of pressure factor. So for that, you're going to see that in the portal. The portal's really going to be where you're going to want to go to get the usage, but the files will be a double check. And also the files will be the way that you can tell which accounts aren't calling in. I think that the files will be more useful than the portal for that matter.
Okay. And for current Rider 34 groups, can we add those at any time now, or do we have to wait to add those to the short file then?
After they become daily,
Yeah.
it would be the same manner in which it's done today.
Okay.
I mean, for all daily red accounts.
They do have to be active first before the subscription be added.
But
So
that should help.
okay, so we won't be able to do that till after May 1st then. Correct.
Correct, for the DVS
Okay.
files.
Thank you.
I have a few more questions that were presented in the chat. Next one came from Bob. When will we get user IDs portal? Will we have access to the test environment prior to go live? And that is no. However, feel free to chime in.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find that on the chat, so.
I don't see that.
Oh, okay. So the, John, I don't know if you want to take that when the user IDs will be going out. I believe it's the week of April 24th.
Correct. So we've been gathering the requests for the user IDs. All of you should have seen the forms that have gone out and returned them. So upon creation of those, which is expected the week of the 24th, you will receive an email with your user ID and temporary password.
And to the second part of the question, will we have access to the test environment prior to go live? No, that is no access to the test environment anymore. We are really focusing on getting us to the finish line for go live.
Moving right along. Next question. In the future, when a supplier signs up customers and they receive historical customer usage, will the usage be monthly or daily?
It will continue to be monthly.
This may be a follow-up to the nomination statement that was addressed earlier. I'm not sure.
I think Darren just had
Yeah,
it.
he just-
Right.
yeah.
It should be good.
Okay.
Any other questions? The recording from the last session on Tuesday is already available in the website. The recording from today's meeting will also be made available on the website along with the actual presentation and the slides. If there are no other questions, I guess we can wrap the meeting. Thank you so much. And if there are any additional questions, again, just email us as well. Thank you.
Thank you.